You're still spending money to support this monster. Either you're stupid or you're evil.
This guy, he just drives them crazy, doesn't he? He just drives them crazy. At the protest itself, it was a smaller group than even last year. Same organizer, Caroline Heldman. This time, nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. And so it was pathetic, pitiful. No one showed up to the protest. I would imagine the organizer, Caroline, she was probably disappointed that she put all of this effort into this thing and organizing it and promoting it. And it was embarrassing. Nobody showed up. So drama after the protest, she was harassed, assaulted by two Marilyn Manson fans. She claims apparently two separate incidents. We'll talk about that in a moment. Of course, there's no evidence of this. Of course, it's not on camera. There are no photos. Now, she claims that she contacted the police. I don't know. I would like to see the police report on that, but you can bet there's no evidence of anything. But let's talk about this woman, the organizer, for just a moment. She is a professor at Occidental College in California, and she's a professor of gender and women's studies, etc. Here's the epitome of the modern victimization-obsessed feminist. This is her. She is apparently good friends with Esme Bianco, and I'm not the first to point this out. A number of these pictures come from Marilyn Manson Uncanceled and the Marilyn Manson cases and some other great sites that have gotten into this case over the years. But Esme Bianco is the redhead on the right, and those of you who followed this case know that she was one of Marilyn Manson's primary accusers, and like the others, had a BS debunked case. I don't even want to get into it, but she's ridiculous. And she's good friends with Caroline. And Caroline frequently has her over to her class, a class where I think you're supposed to be learning serious things. But Caroline likes to do arts and crafts work in her class. And she'll have Esme Bianco over to tell her tale of woe, I assume, to the class and talk about what it's like to be an oppressed Me Too victim, and also what it's like to be a courageous activist. And they like to make like arts and crafts. So I think last year they made loudspeakers out of paper. This year, apparently, they made signs for the handful of protesters who actually showed up to hold outside of Manson's concert at this protest. And so this looks like a Diddy sign. So of course she's going to try to equate him to Diddy, I assume. And so she made signs, and she had Esme Bianco over. There she is. There's Esme, assiduously working back there in the back to make signs. So, I don't know. There's been a lot of discussion this last year or so about academia and the problems with academia and what's gone wrong with universities. And a lot of people suspect that there's a lot of BS that's being taught at universities instead of the classics and literature and history and all of that. Well, you can rest assured, anyone who has concerns about the state of modern academia, you can rest easy knowing that this is the kind of education that your kids are getting at Occidental College. I don't even want to know how much it costs to go there, but I'm sure it's worth every penny. You go and your kids go and they get to be instructed by people like Esme Bianco in the art of making fake loudspeakers out of paper and markers and signs to hold at rock star concerts, right? It's great use of money there, and taxpayer dollars, of course, as well. This right here is the flyer that she was circulating for the last month or so. This was advertising the event, but of course, almost no one showed up. But Caroline did this and promoted it. And of course, Caroline and I have a bit of a fraught relationship because going back to like this post here, she likes to retweet negative posts about me, making fun of me. And of course, she also protested, like I said, a year ago in Anaheim. And I made her look fucking ridiculous. And so I want to look at some clips from what she's posted on Instagram. Like I said, she got the best footage, the most ridiculous footage of herself.
Outside of Soma, and we are protesting the Marilyn Manson show. Marilyn Manson, who has 26 allegations of felony sexual offenses against him. And we are standing here to protest the fact that this man thinks
she's wording it here craftily. She won't in a little while when she just flat out lies. And so she uses the word allegations. She's trying to make it sound like charges, like something really official. And of course, you guys who followed this, you know that each allegation, each accuser just falls apart upon scrutiny.
So I am here today with lots of great folks. Susie, let's look at your sign. Your sign says Diddy, Epstein, Weinstein, Manson. Tell us why you're here.
They sure didn't spend a long time on these signs, did they? I'm not very impressed. You didn't really care that much, did you? You weren't that passionate. This was the best you could come up with.
Idol.
I just want to say to all survivors that
I just brought my grandson here. I don't even listen to Marilyn Manson. What exactly did he do, or has he done? I don't know anything about his.
yeah, so he's a rapist, and there's a lot of cases.
He's 27 victims. 27 young girls.
Mostly. He's has felony assault, some actually significant felony assault charges against some men as well.
There it is. There is the flat out lie. She knows it's a lie. That's Caroline Heldman, by the way. Professor Caroline Heldman, chair of the Gender and Sexuality Department at Occidental College and organizer of this event. She knows that she's telling a lie, and you can tell that she knows because she paused there. There was a pause. Part of her knew that she shouldn't be saying that, but then she so wanted to impress this dude, this random dude who's like, I brought my grandson, and what's this guy accused of? She so wanted to take that opportunity to impress him and impress the viewers. She fudged it. She flat out, it wasn't just a fudging. She told a lie. He does not, Manson, first of all, has never had any felony charges of any kind against him. And she knows, furthermore, that the LADA officially cleared Manson and said that there will not be charges against him. The case is closed. It's shut. There was not evidence for it, etc. Like, she knows that. And so she's lying. She's flat out lying here. So Lady Caroline, not that you had credibility coming into this, but you've completely shattered any credibility that you might have on this topic with what you've just done here. I can't believe that you voluntarily put this on your Instagram. It's still up too. It's still up. I actually looked at it just before I went on because I'm thinking eventually she's going to take this thing down, right? Realize it makes her look bad. No, she kept it up. Okay.
Well, it's nice that you're doing something for your grandson, sir.
Yeah, I'm doing something, and I will educate him about this. I don't know anything about it.
He might not. Manson. These are all monster people, and we're here to say that we're not down with letting monsters just live their lives. We're going to interrupt their lives at every turn. What do we want to say to?
She's really interrupting his life there. That concert was great. Everybody was like so thrilled. The crowd loved it. Went off great. Really interrupting there.
Survivors. What do we want to let survivors know who might be watching this?
So it's more that now at one point she goes off on people like us, people who believe and support Manson. And I'm not going to play the whole rant, but I mean, she's just so delulu.
Conscience or a soul who think rape is so fucking funny. Rape is just so funny. It's actually really shocking to see.
Dude, this lady is like demonic. Seriously, like she's like possessed. What is up with her? And she will speak this way. Understand, this is the way that I observed this. She speaks this way, this woman, she speaks this way to the Manson concert attendees as they're coming in. And of course, last year, because Manson was performing with Five Finger Death Punch, right? Remember, he was opening for them. There were a lot of Five Finger Death Punch fans that didn't even have any interest in Manson or weren't even there for Manson. And she was harassing them and taunting them. But you can imagine this demonic acting lady. You're there just to enjoy a concert and you have to cross paths with her. And she's like screaming and taunting and saying this kind of shit. Like it's, you know, and then wonders why there's some negativity directed at her way. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing that annoys me about people like this is they are ultimate provocateurs. They'll go out there and they'll harass and they'll taunt and they'll say this shit to other people totally unprovoked. And then when people have an emotional reaction to it, then they're like, oh my God, he yelled at me. He got upset, you know, that sort of thing. Or in her case, she's going to make up outright lies, but go on.
How many people are going in and supporting this man with their dollars? and then like openly, brazenly defending him. I'm sorry, it's a he said, she 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 said situation. That's what it is. And so if
Wait, was that supposed to make sense to me? Now I get it. She's trying to emphasize all the she's. Yeah, it's a bunch of crazy bitches. All those she's, it's crazy. Crazy 1, crazy 2, crazy 3, or liar. Liar 1, liar 2, liar 3, liar 4. So yes, it's a he and multiple lying crazy she says. We get it. We get it. Do you get it, lady? Do you get it?
you think that somehow you don't know what he's done, your brain's not working well, right? If 26 people can come forward and make that claim, and you're still spending money to support this monster, and then you're justifying it, either you're stupid or you're evil, and whichever one it is, neither's too good, Manson fans. You're either stupid or you're evil, or I don't know. You might be both. You might be both.
This lady is really doing a lot to dispel the caricature, the notion of feminist as being shrill and abrasive and crazy. Really doing a lot to dispel that notion. So I want to say something now about her allegations, okay? Because what happened is she posted this video several days ago. She posted this video, and underneath it, she actually made these allegations. So I'm going to read this. This was on her Instagram, all right? So she said, "We protested outside Marilyn Manson's show in San Diego. Stop supporting serial rapists, yeah, blah, blah, blah." And she says, "Once it got dark, 2 people appearing to be Manson fans assaulted us. A woman shoved me and ripped up my sign. I had no sooner picked up another sign when a man then came running at me and assaulted me, kicked me, shoved me, and ripped my sign." Here, we'll keep it playing. "Kicked me, shoved me, and ripped my sign from my hands before running into a busy street to get away." When they did this, Caroline, did they yell out, "Dis MAGA country"? I'm just wondering. This is the criminal behavior I expect from people who spend hard-earned money to support a serial abuser. The coward ran away before the police arrived on the scene. Okay, so by the way, this loudspeaker, I know she looks really glamorous in this picture with this loudspeaker. She looks like just the ultimate glamour protest Barbie, doesn't she? I mean, even Gloria Steinem, I don't know if she can match this, but I just want to remind you that at the protest last year, they brought a broken loudspeaker to it, and they didn't have a functional loudspeaker. And so when they would try to yell into it last year, it was just this crackle. It was like, So I have several things to say about these allegations. First of all, it's really convenient that no one in your group, no one who was with you when you were suffering these 2 multiple assaults. And by the way, they sounded like extended assaults. They didn't just come up and like shove you or kick you, but they're taking the sign, they're ripping it up. It's 2 different people. You had people with you. You had your friends, your protesters there. Nobody thought to whip out a camera in this new media age, where we understand that videographic evidence is really important, and it would have made you look really good. It would have made your side look really good, and it would have made the other side look really bad if someone had gotten even like the tail end of that shit, just a snippet of something. Very, very fishy. No evidence, huh? Very fishy. And you say they appeared to be Manson fans, huh? Interesting. So I absolutely don't buy this. Absolutely don't believe this. She's already demonstrated on camera that she's a liar. She lied on camera saying that Manson has these charges against him, these felony charges. So if she's going to lie on camera, she's going to lie in her own video that she's putting on her own Instagram, then why would we think she has any credibility about any of this? And I want to say one more thing about this too. Let me just remind everyone that last year's protest, yes, there was a kind of an assault at last year's protest. And this one actually was recorded on camera, on film. And you want to know who was assaulting whom? It was the anti-Manson side. It was one of Caroline's own people, someone with their group who unprovoked slammed into, pushed another dude, totally unprovoked. And then what happened? The cops who had been observing everything, the cops then pull up, get out, and they have a stern talk with Caroline. And I'm going to show you the video. I know that a number of you have already seen it. I'm not going to show you the whole video from that protest last year, but I want to show you just the relevant part, because what's funny to me, in addition to the fact that they were the ones who provoked this fight, or they were the one that wasn't even a fight, they were the ones who attacked here, who assaulted someone. What was also funny to me is that Caroline was, you could see she was so embarrassed about the fact that it was her group that was being called out, and she did not want to be lectured to by the cops on camera. She knew that I was there filming, and she did not want me to get that footage of her being talked to by the cops and warned. And so she kept trying to, like, the cops showed up and they pulled her over and wanted to talk to her, right? Pulled her aside. And she kept like trying to drift away from them. The cops, if you'll watch this video, the cops actually, the main cop talking to her, he keeps telling her, ma'am, like, you have to talk to me. Come here, right? And she's trying to just sort of like, oh, you know, just sort of drift away with her sign. Who, me? I'm not associated with this. No, it's not us that are in trouble with the cops, right? Tries to just totally play it off, and the cop's not having it. He's like, ma'am, right? So I'm going to show you a bit of that video. And again, if you've already seen it, you know, but I think that that's funny. And so I got on this video, I got the unprovoked assault, as it were, by the other side, and then the cops talking to them. It's not very long.
Marilyn Manson's innocent. Marilyn Manson.
Sorry, I should have warned you there.
Innocent. Innocent. It's a hoax. Me Too hoax. Me Too hoax. 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 Hoaxsters. Hoaxsters gonna hoax. Hoaxsters gonna hoax. Oh, this lady. Oh.
Yes, I will.
And remember your
I'm
mother.
already doing it. Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Get the fuck out of her face.
Oh shit! Oh my god! You pushed me.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're gonna get an assault charge. Watch it.
I'm getting assault charge.
So here comes the dude, right? The sound kind of cuts out here for a minute. But yeah, so he's talking to her, and watch how she kind of like tries in a minute to like sort of drift away, and he's like, man.
Which one? I didn't pay for him. I paid for 5 minutes.
Now they're in trouble. They're in trouble with the cops, dude.
Then they announced
They got violent.
Marilyn Manson was going to be playing.
All right, so she's like, I'll just kind of walk away. All right, so anyway, that's just, I just think it's hilarious that she's trying to claim that they were in any way accosted by Manson fans, when the only documented evidence of anyone at these protests getting accosted by anyone is Manson fans being assaulted or pushed unprovoked. This also reminds me of what happened with Rammstein in Berlin, a couple of years ago. Again, false bullshit Me Too claims against Till Lindemann, their front man. And you had far left-wing woke female protests, mostly female, but feminist protesters in Berlin at that show. They managed to get like 100 people for that to protest there, right? Because you've got that real strong like history of like left-wing protests, you know, the Red Army faction and stuff like that in Germany. And so they actually there, not only did they do a march, but they did a mock burial of Till Lindemann, because they wanted to put him in the ground, so to speak. And so they were getting really offensive there, these protesters. But they were hilarious. Like they made up little dances that they performed to try to promote the idea of canceling Rammstein, canceling Till Lindemann. All right, that's it. You get the point there. So anyway, I don't know. I think it's you know, he keeps stirring up the controversy. They keep trying, but he keeps getting packed houses at these venues. He's now headlining. He's not just opening for people. He's having really successful shows, successful tours, Europe, everywhere. And he's not stopping. And it just drives them crazy. And there's a real desperation, I think, on the part of extreme feminist activists like Caroline Heldman, a real desperation at the fact that they are having actually so little impact. And particularly over here in the States, where Caroline and her movement seem to be having no impact whatsoever. And it's been 5 years covering this guy in various forms and through all kinds of shit that so many people were throwing at him with all of the false accusations and the whole Me Too scam and all of the opprobrium that came with that and the cancellations and all of that. And let me just say, it really is such a pleasure from the bottom of my heart. It is such a pleasure to be able to cover Manson when he is thriving and doing so well. And also to be able to continue to cover these little scandals that now have become just really sort of interesting, amusing hiccups and nothing of any real threat to this artist. And in a way, like I said, I think stuff like this, he's in the news and people are talking about him and he's still causing controversy. And I think stuff like this only helps. And that's why it's, I take pleasure in talking about the shit that that some of these ridiculous women try to pull with their protests and so forth, because I know ultimately this stuff, it's only adding to the Manson lore and the cultural impact that he has had and will continue to have, and the focus that it will put and is putting on his art. So as always, if you enjoy my work, tips are appreciated. My tip jar is below. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.
All right, so look at these two bums that I picked up at the Manson concert.
Hi.
Auntie, what's going on? Jimmy, sit still, keep quiet, and do not move from this spot.
Seven, 6, 11, 5, 11, 32 the day before. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. Don't look at what's in front of you. Men go mad with watching them. Pause, eyes, drop, they will get the top of you. Boot, 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 boot. Moving up and down again. Night, spring, long, strings of 40,000 million. Boom, 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 boom. Moving up and down again. It is not fire, devil, dark, or anything but boom, 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 boom. Moving up and down again.